Ninja Duck debut. Akshay Morye!
Hey guys, Great Britain, Great Britain. It's a lovely name. I love the name Great Britain. Isn't it a lovely name? It's a lovely name. It's one of the few countries in the world without an Independence Day. And it's true. It's true. It's also one of the very few countries in the world with an adjective in the name. Great. Some say it's a little bit self-righteous, a little overzealous, a little Trumpy. I think it's well-earned though. I think it's a well-earned adjective. Because when they drew the line between India and Pakistan, they knew how to separate the rapists from the terrorists. Because when you think about it, I'll tell you why it's great, right? When you think about it, the difference between those two groups of people is really subtle. Because one group of people likes to get blown, and the other likes to get blown as well. All for the holy quest of virgins. I'm not from here. I'm not from here. I grew up in India. I spent 25 years growing up in India. I then moved to California to do some schooling for about 6 years. That's 25 years in India, 6 years in California. That's 31 years in the colonies. I'm lucky to be alive. I should be really privileged to be amongst you lot here today. I'm not. Not. Really? Is anyone else a foreigner here?
Yep. Yeah.
Moving's a pain in the ass, right? Right? Moving a block is a pain in the ass. Imagine moving countries. I've done it twice. I've had some time to rethink though. I think we should take more of a minimalistic approach to moving. More of a Marie Kondo approach. What do you need? A spoon? A plate? Maybe a couple of pairs of clothes? A dildo? That's essential. Dildo is essential. Outside of its obvious use, a dildo has many uses. You can use it as a doorstop. You can use one as a wine preserver. You can use those fancy glass ones as paperweights. Personally, I use mine to roll out my naan bread. My naan bread is the best fucking naan bread in the world. It's perfectly squishy and soft and flavorful. It's got the perfect number of ridges. All of them always in the same place across all of my naan breads. With an inviting pearly glaze on top. Just clotted cream. Just clotted cream. Let me ask you something. Have you noticed how the beard has become this really important, like, symbolic thing when it comes to religion? It's become like this really important religious symbol for some absurd reason. You take any renowned prophet, God, holy figure, angel, demons, their girlfriends, all of them seem to have beards. Jesus had a beard. Moses had a beard. God is rumored to have a beard. Muhammad had a beard. Although we are not allowed to have pictures of Muhammad, or even paint them, or even animate them. I think that's what they're worried about. I think they're worried about some artist taking creative liberty and painting a little hipster goatee on his face. Well, what he probably had was a proper biker's beard. He was a fucking badass. He must have had a proper biker's beard. He conquered the Middle East. He married the Middle East. He consummated the Middle East. Age no bar. He did. It's historical proof. Just did. Gets a bit of a bad rap though. I think he needs to work a bit on his PR. Tiny bit his fault, though last name. really should consider adopting the last name. It's easier to trust people with last names. I think that's why we have more of a forgiving view of Jesus. He's the only holy figure with the last name, Jesus Christ. Honestly, if Muhammad was to pick up a last name tomorrow, let's say Johnson, that's a nice last name, right? It's associated with baby product, right? If he was Muhammad Johnson, tomorrow Nike would sign him up as the next face of Nike. They just would. Another group of people who have beards, serial killers. They do. But they've kind of disappeared, right? Serial killers have disappeared. They were thriving in the 50s and 60s and 70s and 80s. Practically killing it. I mean, if this was the 80s, there might have been one amongst us. Anyways, I was watching a documentary the other day called The Worst 10 Serial Killers of All Time. What? Surely it should have been titled The Best 10 Serial Killers of All Time. Right? The worst serial killer is the one who's done no serial killing at all. I'm a very good candidate to be one of the worst serial killers of all time. Anyways, the take-home message that I took home from this documentary was that the best serial killers love keeping trophies. They love trophies. Some keep underwear, others keep livers, some eat them. We usually call them monsters. I'm not so sure though. Not so sure. Keeping trophies is a very human quality. It's a very human thing to do, right? I mean, you do well at school, you get to keep a trophy. You do well at sport, you get to keep a trophy. You do well at serial killing, you get to keep the severed head of the last person you had a drink with. You get to keep trophies of your victims and victories. I think that explains England's love of curry. I'm gonna let that one simmer. My name's Akshay. You've been wonderful. Thanks a lot. Please welcome back Chris.